what's up? What you want to
All
dive
right.
into? Let's dive
All
into
right,
it.
so now that we've gotten past the pleasantries, I know y'all saw Jada bring herself to the red table. What are your thoughts?
It was good marketing. Very good marketing. Um,
So you think it was marketing? You don't think that there was truth to it?
no, there's two things could be true. There's truth to it, definitely. But I think the way that they decided to come out with both, it helped. It tried to help both brands out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think at the end of the day, though, yeah, it made me look at Jada Pinkett in a different way.
How, Sway?
How so? Yeah, how so?
I just feel like she's selfish and she was thinking about herself and not her family. And I feel
Okay.
like she hurt somebody. She hurt August Alsina in the long run, and she hurt Will Smith in the long run. And I think 10 years from now, Will Smith is going to end up getting a divorce because he's going to realize he's not really happy.
Okay. That's
That's
Okay.
how I feel.
All right.
oh, I mean, it can make sense.
I was thinking it was kind of on August at first until after I watched that interview. And it's like, nah, Jada knew what she was doing.
Mm.
What was she doing?
She took advantage of somebody's vulnerability.
Ah,
Mm.
He was vulnerable. She took advantage of his vulnerability to make herself happy. And when he wanted something more, she had to back out.
But I mean, I think when
you
you
didn't have to.
I think that what she was saying was that she was vulnerable too.
I'm not
She did.
hearing that. I'm not hearing you on that.
Ah,
That's just like how when we were talking about somebody's boss sleeping with them. When that what show was that we was watching where Steve Carell got in trouble with sleeping with chick, and you
The
were
morning
saying
show.
it's his duty not to sleep with her because he
Oh, so
has
this
the
is a
power.
you feel like this is a Me Too situation.
Not that. I just feel like he was vulnerable because he was sick and she had all the power. She was in control because she nursed him back to health.
Mm.
And once he became not vulnerable to where he was looking at her like that, she controlled her and used him for her happiness. That's how I looked at it. That's how I look at it.
I mean, I would not completely disagree because I do feel like she's the person who had the most power in the situation. But I also am looking at it like, well, she was in a broken place too. So maybe she wouldn't have been able to immediately recognize the whole power dynamic as it was happening. Does that make sense?
I
it
don't
does.
know. I wonder what brought him to that place where she was unhappy.
Because she had to be unhappy in her relationship, but we didn't hear about that. So
Exactly. And even
we
the way
we
she tried to make it like your husband shouldn't have to pull that out of you that you had an affair with this man. You trying to beat around the bush. No, this ain't how this interview gonna go. Like you trying to be
I
But
mean, it
transparent.
was,
Stop trying to
but
beat
it
around
was
the
it
bush.
was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable, and he was there, and he had to, pull it out of her. I'm I'm
Okay,
just
but you
I'm
act
just
like they ain't
confused.
they ain't had pre-production and they freestyle. They ain't freestyle that.
but
I mean,
But can we rewind just a second because I definitely want to give a shout out to the Smiths as a whole because a couple of things that stood out to me from the beginning was I appreciated them not making August Alsina out to be a liar, and then on top of that, I appreciate them saying that their publicist or whoever came out talking about that's completely false from the gate. They was like, whoever spoke on our behalf, we did not say nothing, and we intentionally did not say nothing to anybody who put out a statement saying that we said anything. We did not say nothing.
right.
Um, but And then two, I appreciate Will being there because on our last recording, I was saying to y'all, I don't want to see a red table with Jada sitting there by herself. So I thought it was really important for Will to be there because y'all saw what she did, talking about I got in an entanglement with August, and Will was like, "Say what it is."
That's what it was to her.
A relationship. So then she was like, "All right, yes, we were in a relationship, but I felt like she needed him there to kind of like help hold her accountable." But I definitely think a little bit more highly of them now. I mean, because I always loved the Smiths, but they could have got on there and said everything is false, he's lying, blah blah blah. But they did not do that, and I'm glad that they didn't make him out to be a liar because I didn't think he was lying in the first place.
I don't know. Shout out to Will Smith. But you
I
deserve to be
mean,
happy too.
I commend them for even saying anything because again they are in a married they are in a married relationship. They're not just boyfriend and girlfriend. They're married and they've been rocking for 25 years. So um as anybody knows, 25 years, that's a lifetime. Okay. Just because we don't know the inner workings of their marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that there is a lot of ups and downs on both parts. Like, you know what I'm saying? This just so happens to be the female that got ousted and, from a male. So a lot of people wasn't feeling it. And I was one of those people that wasn't feeling that shit because he did it at a time where he's dropping new music or whatever, like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. And if he wanted us to buy his music, all he had to do was just say buy his album, he's going to be talking about that or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying. The Smiths were still talking like they were cool with him. They was calling him Og. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Og came in and blah, 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 blah. So that let me know that even in Jada and August relationship, there had to be something going on, whereas the Will's not gonna give himself up on what he was doing. He's gonna keep his clean image or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And them two are doing their thing. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So he's looking at it like, okay, we all good because I'm doing me and she's doing her, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And they kept reiterating that they were separated.
That and another thing too, even if Will was doing something on the side, Jada, this is your boy who put us out here. So now we got to clear up your situation. Whoever I got on the side, if he got somebody on the side, they ain't said nothing. So it ain't about me. It's about clearing up what happened with
Messy,
your boy.
messy, messy, messy.
Right. Right. And again, they were in that entanglement situation and they are together still and they are rocking out as a married couple. Shout out to the Smiths.
Are
Shout
they?
out to the Smiths.
Are they really rocking out, or that's what they telling me?
I mean,
I was like, Will don't look happy.
Jada clearly wasn't happy, so I guess they even.
No, Tom, you're talking about Will don't look happy right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't. He was whatever. I mean,
You gotta
I
fight for
just,
your
I
marriage.
just, you do. I agree with all of those things. That I just know that when shit is being dished out from the male perspective, it's all cookies and cream. But when a
Is it?
female dish it
Yeah,
out,
right. They would have
when a
crucified
female dish
Will.
it out, the
They would
male
have
ego
crucified Will if
can't
that was
take that
Will.
shit. So everybody's feeling sorry for Will, but men do that shit every day, b.
But they also get put on the cross for it though too. They
I
do.
feel like women are definitely more forgiving.
You're right.
For sure.
When it comes to Hollywood,
men and their
when it,
indiscretions, women
man, when it comes to
definitely
Hollywood and the
forgiving.
dude cheat, it's over for them. Over for them. They get painted out to be the villain
And nine
all the
times out
time.
of 10, they are habitual cheaters. They're habitual cheaters. And people keep saying stuff like, "Oh, well,
How you know she ain't though?
I don't know. We only know this one time.
I don't know.
We just know this one time." I mean, August was.
I mean, I know situations where women have cheated and men act like it's the end of the world, but when the tables are turned and men constantly cheat, they expect to be forgiven over and over and over.
The male dude, I'm talking about society as a whole. Like they don't forgive the person who cheats.
I mean, and a lot of that's what I was about to say, because a lot of people they don't care who it is, if it's the male or the female. That
Yeah.
it's over.
You're right about that person. The male do expect to be forgiven, but as far as like when you're like a power couple in Hollywood, if you're the male that cheats, it's like you get crucified by society.
But at the same time, I think this whole thing is a testament to if you want to be together for 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to go through some stuff, right? I mean,
you just don't want it to be messy.
I mean, right.
And that about being inside of the public eye, August Alsina kind of wasn't the person you were supposed to cheat with.
But I mean, at the same, because I feel like you don't necessarily know what it takes to keep your relationship together unless like you're absolutely in it, because y'all know Hillary Clinton got a lot of flack for staying with Bill.
Right.
For the whole
she probably ain't happy.
Stuff, but
she probably the only reason why she stays is probably politically for politics.
Maybe not. I mean, who's to say? Like Will and Jada, she didn't feel like Bill was her soulmate, and we, regardless of what, I'm rocking out with you.
Man, Bill Clinton don't look happy. Neither did Hillary.
If happiness is a look and they need to go find it, they got to go find that within, because ain't nobody gonna make you feel happy or any of those things. I'm just like, well, we talking about the public outcry. People was feeling bad for Jada. Was people feeling bad for Rashida when Kirk was cheating on her, like publicly, season after season? No, people's looking at her like she's dumb for staying, like, you know what I'm saying? And she still stayed. He had a whole kid. Peter Guns. That's somebody else that we watch repeatedly cheat and play two females against each other.
I was looking at both of them like they was clowns.
I'm just saying, we see it all the time, but because it's Will and Jada, it's like, and because Jada got caught up, got the short end of the stick in the situation, it's this whole thing, and I just think it's crazy. It's
and then,
crazy.
Like, at the time, you feel like, because you said in the group text that you feel like Jada is trash, but I'm like, how? Because when you're looking at the red table,
because I feel like she used.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
She used two people to gain her happiness.
But at the same time,
that's what she did.
When it came to the situation with Will, they both were saying at that time they felt like they was completely done.
No, Will said he felt like he was done. He felt like he was ready to throw her away. But why would he feel that way?
But Jada said she thought they was completely done too.
Yeah, because he wanted to throw her away.
But at the same, so what you're saying is you think she did something before?
Yeah, I just feel like either she did something before or she was like going around with August Alsina and like being in public with him before they was actually a couple.
I mean, I think that
stop that shit.
Well, I think because of how the interview went, it sounds like something happened prior to August to get them to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Only because of how they was talking. He said, well, first of all, like, at that time that, you know, y'all hooked up, like we was done.
I was ready to throw you all the way away. I said, oh.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
to me, what that sound like is that he lost his girl, and once he started seeing her with somebody else, he was like, I can't lose my wife, and he's like, I'm gonna fight for my wife, and she realized the grass wasn't greener and came back. But I just think
and I look at it on a whole different perspective. I look at it like he was already in an entanglement that we didn't know about, and he might have been already moving on with his next thing, moving forward. We don't know that though, but that's my perspective of it. If it was just like, oh, they're done, he's already moved on. Like he's
But that's
already
why,
moved on.
but that's why I look at it like a publicity stunt too, because they gonna only give you but so much.
Because
Right.
if y'all notice, like near the end of that red table talk, Will was talking about how he got to get her back, and she was like, I think you've already done that already.
Yeah.
And he was like saying, nah, like I definitely got to get you back. Like I felt like that was a little hint as to, no, dude, you know what you did, but this ain't
Right. Like I got you back. That was that I got you back because you already did some shit. I got you.
But what's
And
doing
now he's
something?
like
He
he feel like he gotta be
might
one
have been
up.
texting somebody or something. That's why he was
Just a
saying.
chat.
That's why he said, "No, I really gotta get you back." She's like, "You cheated on
No.
me." He probably like, "I ain't sleep with the girl."
I mean, because
I ain't sleep with her.
There's definitely rumors about Will having a side piece traveling with him and all types of stuff like that. But I don't even want to go into detail about that because that's not something that's confirmed. That's just gossipy. But what we do know is about the Jada and August situation. So
The entanglement.
Yeah. In the male species, their
Oh
percentage
boy.
rate
Here we
is
go.
not good.
Here we
So
go.
I mean, I'm just saying.
The woman rate ain't good.
I mean, it's all right, but
No, it
it's
ain't.
not as bad. It's
No, it
all
ain't.
right. It's not as bad.
No,
And
it
like
ain't.
I said, we're more forgiving. We are
Just
more
because
looked at as
just because
being
a serial killer doesn't get caught doesn't mean they're not a serial killer.
right.
all right,
I,
touche.
I mean,
Nah, I've seen women take that wedding ring right off
well, I ain't never seen nothing
and
like
get to
that
working.
Well,
from
guess
my
what?
sister.
I've seen a full-fledged married man not even take it off, but asking to be my friend. And I'm like, no.
Right, right.
What
That's
about
what
all
I'm
the women
saying.
that cheat?
Like
What
we
about
all
all?
go through.
Listen. For the male to be a dirty dog and cheat, that means that the women got to know he's a cheater. What about all the women that be cheating with the pastors and stuff like that? Is it just the pastor that's wrong for that, or is it the woman? Because
No, both
there's
are
the
wrong.
first lady.
Both are definitely wrong.
So we just gonna get the women to pass.
Mm-mm.
No.
I just learned from in relationships when people are in a relationship and you got outside people like looking in wondering how it works for them to in a relationship, like you know what I'm saying, they people go through things and it's up to that individual person to know when it's enough for them or what's the line being crossed for them to walk away, like you know what I'm saying, like no everybody could sit back and say, oh, I wouldn't take that. Oh, I would be done. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. We all do it. We've all done it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we've all been in relationships where we've all taken shit that we probably said we wouldn't take. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in order for somebody to leave a marriage, like, you know what I'm saying? Or even a long term, relationship, it it takes a lot, like you know what I'm saying, and maybe the Smiths just aren't there. Maybe they will never get there. Like them having their entanglements between the two of them, because I'm sure they both had entanglements multiple times. They've been together for 25 years. They've grown together, like you know what I mean, and so Maybe the entanglements made them stronger. We don't know. But that's their prerogative. They're married.
But at the same time, can you respect them saying, regardless of the entanglement, this is the person I'm rocking out with. I don't care who Joe Schmo on the side is. This is the person that I'm rocking out with, and who, till death do us part, I know got my best interest at heart, regardless of what happens.
We'll see. We'll see. It sounds good,
It did.
but we'll see.
Dang, Tom, you sound real like disgruntled about this whole.
I seen a lot of men, comment and say stuff like, they feel
Somebody's
differently.
gonna get to him. Somebody's gonna get to him. Whether it's gonna be a woman that he respects her opinion, or it's gonna be his boys in his ear, somebody's gonna get to him. It ain't gonna be overnight, but I give them like 10 years.
That's a lot of time.
They're going to get a divorce, though. I do
But
think he loves her, though. I think he wants to fight for her. I think he loves her. But it's going to come down. Reality's going to hit. Like, he needs to be happy.
What's reality, though?
He needs to be happy also.
He didn't say that he was happy, but he did not say that he wasn't happy. We're just assuming that because of the look on his face that he had during the interview, that he was in his feelings. He may have shed a few tears. I've seen a few people say that, a few memes, making it look like he was crying or whatever. Like, we don't know.
But at the same time, I do follow Will Smith on Instagram, and I do watch some of his YouTube videos. And a while back, he did make a video saying that, like, he came to a realization when it comes to his marriage, like, I am responsible for my own happiness, and Jada is responsible for her own happiness, and we make the choice to walk together, being happy in our own journeys. Like, so...
all that philosophical shit get thrown out the window once you get depressed. Let you know right now. It sounds good.
Because, when you think about it, that's a tall, like, it all sounds good, but that's a tall order to be responsible for somebody else's happiness.
And see,
you're not.
The thing about it is, and I don't even think it would be that bad if it was on the hush. The thing about it is everybody is going to have a comment and something to say about it. Now it's out in the open. And I think that's where the pressure is going to come in. Because everybody look at Will Smith like he's the model, almost like a Denzel. He's almost like the model dude. Like the perfect dude. He's always happy. His kids are good. He did it the right way. Then you found out that he's getting ran over.
Who's saying he's getting ran over?
Like, I feel like being a little...
That's crazy. He's getting ran over? Oh, man.
Hey, boys, they named Jada's doormat.
Well, that's on him.
She was fouled for when she was talking like that about Tupac.
What'd she say about Tupac?
What she say about him, about being the love of his life, love of her life?
Oh, is that what she said?
She was getting all gaga over him, like when you married, like.
Oh, well, yeah, I did hear her say something. Well, that's how she felt. Will knew it. I seen him do an interview that he knew that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew that. Like, you know what I'm saying? About Tupac. But that's something that he's, like, Tavi, you ain't the man that Will Smith, Will Smith ain't the...
I ain't going to be calling my girl's ex-dude Augie either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what yeah.
No, that's him just taking all the punches. Like, you better stop being a doormat.
Just like with the Kirk and Rashida situation, you know what I'm saying? My husband go out and have a whole outside baby. I'm not fucking playing house with no fucking baby that she made on the outside. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so that's where we differ in that. Like, so I feel you. Like, I understand that. And I was telling Jessica, like, I feel like it was a little slight touch of disrespect for me coming from August in that interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he put out the perception that he had a whole conversation with Will about him and Jada's relationship, which was false. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No. Hold on. I watched the Red Table Talk again. They didn't say that was false. What was said was, Jada was saying, he said that he went to Will and asked for permission. And Jada said, the only person who could give permission is me. Because
see, Jada be trying to flex.
But nobody never said that conversation never happened.
She right. Jada definitely did say that. I was like, she trying to flex on Will.
I have to go back and watch it because I felt like he was just like he didn't come to me and say, he didn't say it in those words, but I felt like he did not come to him and say, like, I want to be with your wife. Like, who's doing that and not getting their chin checked?
Will might not be having any no more.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I know that Will was in a whole different entanglement. Whatever that might be, whatever falls under that category, he was in a space where if a man could come to you and say, I'm taking your wife or I want your wife, and he was like, okay, go ahead, he was in an entanglement himself.
Now, plot twist, what if they was all in the same entanglement?
I mean, they had situations going on. So, but at the end of the day, guess what?
I never know, like, don't three people get tangled? Don't two people ain't really tangled? They tangled with this two.
It's not necessarily.
It takes two to tangle.
Ain't it woven when it's two?
Yeah, it's more like a twist. It's a twist.
Well, she was in an entanglement and. And the Smiths they're still rocking out. They got a whole family. They got,
Jada say when it's over.
Well, so be it.
Yeah.
She better not leave that man. He gonna end up killing himself.
I mean, but we'll pray for Will.
Pray for Will.
I don't think that he is. I feel like, Tavi, you're trying to portray him to be like this innocent guy that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's showing the goals of marriage.
We only know what we know.
Well, I know that he's had entanglement in a 25-year relationship.
The red table was about Jada, not Will. We only know what we know.
Yeah.
Jada's the entangled one. Will didn't say he was entangled at all.
Yeah.
So at this point, he gotta be a saint.
But at the same time, during that Red Table Talk, also Jada brought up that Will told her from the beginning, there is nothing that you could do that would ever make me leave you. And she said she did not believe him at that time, but at this point now,
she believes him because.
You think that's the first time Jada Pinkett cheated? No.
Wow. Okay.
It might be. It might have been.
I don't know.
Yes, because that's all I know.
No.
And he asked that question, do you think that is that the first time or the only time that Jada cheated? No. Do you think that Will Smith has never cheated? No.
I ain't say all that, but I said we can only go about what we know. I ain't say he didn't cheat, but where's the facts?
Where's the facts for Jada and somebody else?
She was on tape saying she was entangled.
With one person said I was her one and only time stepping out of her marriage.
Once a snake shows his head.
Well, no, that was her only one time.
Only
one time.
If a tree falls in the water,
I mean, until we see receipts of other entanglements, then we don't know, right?
I guess
Tom is trying to make it seem like an entangled web.
Yeah.
where we weave.
Well,